Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast today. I'm here with Marina Polta. My name is Alexandre. Marina, could you please tell the people who are watching us who don't really know you yet briefly about yourself, what they just should know?
Well, absolutely. I'm always being unapologetically myself. So, whoever is following me on Instagram, I've always been a cosmetologist, and also I'm actually coming up for women's rights. It's very important for me. But lately, a lot of people, because I'm here in Tbilisi, normally I live in UAE, I'm 40 years old. But normally now, a lot of people are asking me a lot of questions about relationships, how I stand up for women, how I stand up for myself, how I dealt with depression. So I think people are very interested how I go into relationships and just my life.
That's very interesting to hear. Obviously, right now we are becoming pretty famous very rapidly on Instagram. I see you have huge audience growing. To be honest, how difficult it is managing all of this by yourself? Do you have some extra help? Do you need some extra help? Or is it pretty hard to do all of this by yourself? For the women who don't know what's going on behind the scenes, this is why I'm asking this, so they know what's truly going
Well,
on there.
let me have a sip with after all these questions. Well, obviously, listen, Alex is actually my one of my assistants, which is a younger man. That's why I thought it's very interesting because he is attracted to older women, not to me, maybe. Anyway, so the most important thing is to understand it's not about the age. It's never about the age. Certain people do not age at all. And I'm not talking about physical part. I'm talking about that they don't get enough education or work on themselves. So I would like to show when you're working on yourself, it's very important to know that, it's not always an easy path.
Obviously, I agree with all of that, what you said so far. Also, I want to note that a lot of content that you make on Instagram, a lot of people might take it the wrong way. They might not fully understand what you're trying to mean by that. And obviously, you're also talking about pretty controversial topics such as relationships between men and women and how you're empowering women in everyone's eyes. Tell me, obviously, relationships can be very difficult. We can both agree on that, I believe. Especially between younger men and older women. I think it's a whole different topic to talk about, personally. Do you think that love is the same that it was 20 years ago, for example? I am wondering about that.
Well, listen, as we can say, I'm 40, he's 20, so he doesn't even know what was the love 20 years ago. So, but I can tell. I don't think it's about love. I think it's about the effort that people are putting in, and you need to differentiate it in the countries. So, for example, I grew up in Belgium. I was born in Kazakhstan. I lived in UAE. Do I think all the people are the same? Of course not. So, for example, when I meet a 20-year-old in Georgia, it's a very different topic because they act like men. They're very similar to my Slavic vibe, which is obvious, very strong, opinionated. And we connect to certain levels because it's all coming from the post-Soviet countries, whatever, even if you denied it, it's still happening. So for me, it's not about love. It's about finding your person. And sometimes your person can be 20, 25, and you are 40, because there are so many incredible examples of love. Even if we look at Macron, he's a French president, and she was the teacher. I mean, at least 20 years difference, and she made him a president. So do I think it's about having potential? No. I think it's when you see that someone is giving you everything that you were asking for, and it's not age related.
So you would not say that love has an age, basically?
Absolutely not. I only dated younger men. Why would I date older if I don't need to?
Why younger, though? What does that make, like, any difference between younger and older men, for example? What's the difference that you find that makes you decide that, okay, younger men are more for me than the older men might be?
Well, listen, there were different stages in my life where I thought that, again, when you go in therapy, which I am for almost a year, And I was choosing men before based on my trauma connecting. So right now, I'm trying to go away from it completely. And it's more about how do I feel next to a person. So it doesn't connect to an age. Do I enjoy younger body? Absolutely. Do I enjoy less bald people? Absolutely. Less wrinkles. Because am I an average 40-year-old woman around the world? Probably not, because I'm a cosmetologist, so I take care of myself, my body, everything, whatever you can imagine. So absolutely, for me, it's how I feel. But I will give a benefit of a doubt. Can I expect the same treatment from a 40-year-old man as a 20-year-old? Absolutely not. But for me, it's now more about feelings than even about financial stability. So before, I was focusing on financial stability. Even my men were younger, but not
Could be
that
very
young.
important in relationship. Financial
Absolutely,
stability.
because 70% of the marriages are failing because of that. So we definitely need to put this in perspective. A man needs to be a man. So, for example, in Georgia, some men who are 20, 22 are acting more mature than a 40-year-old in Europe, because I lived in Europe for many years, and obviously 18 is not nothing, and I live in different countries, so I can talk out of experience.
I can make a note on that to piggyback on that. That I personally believe as a Georgian man myself, for example.
Are you?
Yes, I am. When you said that a 20-year-old in Georgia, you made a key connection here, can be acting more mature, for example, than a 40-year-old one. Actually, I do believe that might be true in some aspect, maybe not in everything, because obviously with age comes more maturity, more experience, you have lived more
Baggage.
lives, seen many things.
Baggage, kids,
We hope so.
ex-wife,
At least, yeah, exactly.
boldness.
Exactly. But in Georgia, it's the kind of country, personally, I believe, where like you are already treated as a man from the get-go. They don't really treat you as a young kid or a boy. They already want to expect more from you. As I'm speaking out of a personal experience, for example, here, a lot of stuff going on. For example, we are living in the streets from the day one, playing football, fighting with each other when we were kids,
Varnyashkas.
making a lot of mistakes, and we learn from them. And maybe that's why I personally believe that when people grow up like this from the start, they might seem more mature. Maybe the age does not tell it, but the mind does, because they already did a lot of stuff growing up, made a lot of mistakes.
Okay,
and
let
now
me
they're
ask
mature.
you a question. You're 20.
Yes.
So imagine
21.
at 21, I'm sorry.
No worries.
I don't even know the age of my assistants. Imagine that. Thank God I know the name. I have a few. But anyway, why I took Alex into this podcast? Because he's very mature for his age, and he has a depth that I didn't experience with a lot of people. And I wanted to tell, why is he here? Because obviously he's attracted to older women, but not only that. He has this part of him where I am actually connecting to. So it's very easy to talk to. He's very pure. The pureness of people is the most important thing. So when someone is kind, purely from their heart. So that's why it's very interesting to see the perspective of him on this podcast, ladies. And he's Georgian. And I am very, let's say, profound of Georgian men lately, because I've never discovered this country before. And I've been to 80 countries. Obviously, I dated quite a few men, which I'm not ashamed of. Whoever is going to talk, oh my God, body count, I don't give two shits. Listen to me. And this is very important for me, that someone at this age can already have this kind of depth.
Actually, I think age does not really, obviously age matters in some aspects, we can all agree with that, both me and you.
Absolutely.
Obviously age matters.
Marriage, kids,
yes.
yeah.
But
absolutely.
I think we should not treat a younger man based off his age alone. We should take everything in perspective. How does this guy think? What qualities does he have?
What you're looking for.
Yeah, what are you looking for example, right? And if you're trying to date a younger man, I think this is the most important part, because obviously a lot of young men do not have that capability of having financial freedom yet and everything, as we are just now starting our lives and our careers and everything.
Trying our best.
We are trying our best, obviously. But it's hard, as a young man, in this world where there's a lot of competition going on, everyone is trying the same. You have to literally
Maybe
work
women in
100
their
times.
40s or 50s are looking for exactly this experience, and they are not asking for more.
I mean, is that the only thing though that they're looking for in a young man? This experience, or is there something more that you might expect for him?
I think you never know. I think the most important thing to understand is you never know where it leads you. Because you can plan your life, you can say, yeah, this is just a fling, or this is for a short period of time. And then you find yourself in a situation where you're like, listen, I've never experienced this kind of behavior from anyone who is like 30 or 40. Should I give it a chance? And then you need to ask yourself questions, how healed you are, how you worked on yourself, is your traumas are coming through? Because I've never experienced what I'm experiencing right now in Georgia, for example, because I've never dated below 30 ever. Because I was like, listen, 10 years is the maximum. But then you meet Georgian men and you're like, wait a second, maybe 20 in Georgia is actually 40 in Europe.
I mean, I guess it can work like that because Georgia
But then
is a whole
again,
different
I'm
story for
talking
me.
as a Slavic woman. I'm not talking as anyone else because I'm sure, because I had another podcast where we talked about this, and expats who are living in Georgia, women especially, they were actually not so profound Georgian men and they had bad experiences, because I think you have to be strong for Georgian men. You have to, push back, because if you are not strong enough, they will take you over and they will tell you exactly in which corner you have to sit.
I think the thing is that Georgian men probably, like, you always looking at boil everyone in the same pot. Like, there can be good Georgian men, there can be bad Georgian men. For example, in any country it can be like
Absolutely,
this.
absolutely.
But I think thing is that Georgian men, we have this trait that if something,
It's like general thing.
yeah,
you know
general
what I mean?
thing, that if we think that something you're doing or saying is kind of, let's say, BS or something, it does not really make sense and it's not really
BS
the
like
right thing to
bullshit?
do. Bullshit, but not in that terminology though, something that we would think that, okay, maybe this is not right, and let me tell her of that, like, let me make sure that she knows, let me check her about this, and then we
Do
leave it
you
up to you,
think different areas of Georgia acting differently?
obviously, because it's
What would you say about, for example, Tbilisi and Rustavi?
to be honest, Tbilisi is right now in shambles. There's a lot of stuff going on in Tbilisi, but I think Tbilisi overall, like, a lot of good men come from this city because it is the capital. You're gonna find every kind of person
Absolutely.
here, both
You
good
are
and
from
bad.
Tbilisi, right?
I am from Tbilisi,
Okay.
indeed.
So
Yes.
what would you say about Rustavi people?
Rustavi, I've personally been there quite a few times. I think they're amazing.
Me too.
Yeah, they're amazing.
But how do they handle their business? Let's say, how do they handle being as a man? Is it different from Tbilisi?
I think the thing is, between the cities, there might be a different approach to some things. There might be
You
different.
have to be bold, honey. We're not doing a
No,
sugar coating.
This is not sugarcoating. I personally believe this is like this, basically, because it really depends on the upbringings and the history and the culture that's going on around there. A city can have a different kind of culture. For example, Kutaisi also is a different kind of city where there's different kind of culture going on there and different mentality going on there, for example, which is also a good part about it,
What I heard, which people are coming from Kazbegi and Kahetia, they're like warriors and they're like very
Yes.
strong and
Yes.
opinionated, and they're like warriors. Tbilisi is more Europeanized. This is what I heard from people. Is it? I think so.
Maybe
Kind
in
of.
recent years it might be more Europeanized, as you said, but obviously things like places like Hazbeti, first of all, amazing place. I love being there. And second of all, these people from mountains, they have their own strong principles that they cling on to strongly. They don't let that go because this is what makes them, basically. This is how they
I
grew
think
up.
this is why I'm connecting to them so much, because I have a very strong persona as a woman, and I don't think a lot of men can actually handle me. So for me, it's kind of becoming a very interesting experience.
You would say so.
No, I would definitely say so, because I think if I would look for a husband, maybe, if I would look for a husband, this would be the place where actually I can find a husband that he's strong enough because he would not be intimidated by me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Because
I know
of the
what you
strong
mean.
persona that I am, and I'm very outspoken,
A strong
obviously.
woman needs a, in my opinion, stronger man to handle everything.
Absolutely. If I'm alpha, he needs to be a double alpha for sure.
Yeah.
Not every single woman is the same. And that's why I always say, like, we cannot talk about experiences, we can only talk about opinions. Opinion only. And whoever connects to me, because there are quite a few 150,000 people and 30 million viewers who are watching it on a daily basis. So for me, it's more about who is connecting to me as a persona from around the world, which is quite a few, because it started very recently from 200 followers closed account to now 6 months later 150,000.
Yeah, for everyone to know, let's mention when exactly did you start your Instagram and uploading videos? How long ago was it, so people can know that in this time, this much stuff happened, right? You grew up fairly rapidly, okay?
Yeah.
I remember when I met
Too
you,
fast.
day I met you too fast. Yeah, day I met you was like 1 month ago. You were at 82,000 followers. And then in the span of 1 month, now I believe you are reaching 150,000 followers. So that's a progress that many cannot achieve, you know, in such a short period of time, especially coming from out of nowhere and taking the internet and the world by the storm, you know.
Absolutely.
So how does that experience all make you feel that in span of 1 month you achieved all of this and you're still growing, like there is no roof above you, you're still going and going?
You see, I've always been delusional. I just never gave myself a chance to be completely delusional because I was always for 20 years in a relationship. I had 4 relationships. Then in my last relationship, which was a heartbreaking experience because he was my best friend. I loved him. I loved him with my whole heart. He loved me back. Cheers to that love. Cheers to love. And I loved him a lot. And, you know, it happened 2 years ago that I actually decided that maybe this person, we're not on the same page for the future, meaning we always talked in these 4 years about marriage. He was never sure about kids, me neither. But then, you know, when you are with someone and you're becoming best friends and you are actually going to karaoke and you're singing and you are living the best life.
Spending the best amount of time possible
Yes,
with that person, the loved one, basically.
there is a moment that came and we were actually talking and he said to me, Marina, I'm not ready. And this coming after like 3.5 years, I understood that if he's not ready now, probably never. And I'm not the person who would go into something ever. Even imagine leaving someone, not because of cheating, not because he has another woman, not because he doesn't love me. It's actually when you love each other and he's your best friend and you leave someone because you are not on the same page for the future plans. That's it.
So you would say this,
No,
going through this stuff
absolutely
is
not.
what made
No,
you start
absolutely
doing?
not. Absolutely not. So I was in depression for 2 years. Very bad. So I was actually going every day to work, putting a mask on, the happy I am all the time, which was absolutely fake. But then you have to be diplomatic. You're going to work, you need to earn money,
Obviously.
you need to work. And imagine the funny part. The funny part was when I started to be by myself fully, it actually grew my business to another level because I was fully dedicated, not in a relationship. It's also one of the most important things. 20 years of my life, I dedicated myself to relationships because I thought the happiness is coming not from me, but it's coming from a relationship, and I needed not added value. I needed someone to be my happiness. So I was putting the pressure on the person. Anyway, cutting this back, it was the biggest mistake I ever did. So what was happening actually? 2 years, I didn't handle my chronic depression, which I was actually stated with through my psychiatrist. I love her.
I hope you're doing much better now?
Well, obviously, look at me.
With
I
the
mean,
way
look
things
at
are
me. I
going?
mean, everything, the way the things are going.
Yeah.
But 6 months ago, I actually started. So it was 15th of December. I still remember. So I asked one of my patients, I'm like, listen, I'm really struggling with myself lately, and I don't see the way out of this situation. So she said to me, listen, I have actually a psychiatrist who is a clinical psychiatrist, and she's like, Marina, try it. I was never a fan of this therapy and everything. I'm like, you know what? At the moment where I am, let's do it. So I contacted her, and she was like, first session, second session, and she's from Odessa. She had a crazy life. Crazy life meaning she dated this Zakoni, which is meaning thieves in law, whatever. And when she was 20, she had an incredible life. She's been married twice, and now she's already for 30 years with her husband. So the perspective of my therapist, the way she's seeing life and the way she's representing the life was very similar to mine, but then more successful on certain levels. So after 5 sessions, she said to me, Marina, you need to take antidepressants, which I was like, what are you talking about? Me, when I have a headache, my mom would say to me, drink tea with honey. You know what I mean?
Classic Slavic solution to everything.
The herbal stuff, let's do that. So I obviously said no.
Would it help though? Tea with honey?
Well, probably for 10 years or something. I mean, I never had headaches, so I don't have headaches even until now. I don't have headaches in general. After 15 sessions, and we had sessions every single day. Just imagine, you come from work and you have your sessions, so you don't have any life, social life. But I didn't have it already for 2 years. So the whole thing was, after 15 sessions, she tells me, Marina, if you're not taking medication, we can't help you. And I'm like, why is that? She's told me something that a lot of women don't know. After 40, if you are going through immense stress, you don't produce this amount of serotonin, which is obviously a happy hormone. And she told me, you will never feel happy again how you felt when you were 20 or 30. And I was like, wait a minute. So I talked to my mom, obviously, it's important. She's like, no, you shouldn't do that. No. You see, I'm going well. Yeah, no. Now my mom is also with the therapist, the same therapist, but okay.
Would you say
Wait
that...
a minute, I didn't finish, honey. Anyway, so then, coming back to answering your question. So I decided, because I'm doing therapy every single day, I was like, you know what? I think it was 22 of August, 22 of December. And I'm sitting in the best restaurant of Dubai. And I'm like, I'm depressed. I've been depressed for 1.5 years. And I don't know how to deal with it. And I don't want to put anything on it. And this was the first thing where I said, I'm going to go open about my situation. I will open my profile with 200 followers. And the rest is the history.
The rest is the history. Well, personally, I'm proud of you, first of all, for managing to get through the dark times. You know, I personally believe a lot of people are going through so many stuff, but they don't really show it and put it out there for people to see, you know, and they're suffering alone. So I'm glad you sought some therapist help. I think many people don't go there. I
still do, though.
You still do? Yes.
I still do.
You still do.
And I'm a therapist, psychiatrist. I'm not talking psychologist who just listens to me. Psychiatrist who puts my brain back in the perspective. Because the thing is, with any type of therapy, a lot of people think you go in therapy, you're single, and you think after 6 months, oh my God, I'm such a perfect person.
It does not really go like that.
Yeah, the moment you go into a relationship, everything comes out. It's like a Pandora box, and you're like, where is this coming from? Because you cannot heal without relationship. You need to have a person next to you, because whatever you learned will come out with this person, no matter what. And then you adjust your behavior.
To be honest, when it comes to relationships, personally, I think a lot of people have a lot of opinions about them, right? They all say certain different stuff, but we never stop and ask why, though. Like, why do we have so many questions?
Who are people, though?
General public in general.
General public, there is general and general. You have people who are following the crowd, and you have people who are actually the leaders. Which one you want to be? I don't want to be. I don't want to be the sheep ever. Obviously, with my persona ever.
But
I want strong people next to me.
who would not want strong people next to them? Everyone would want this kind of stuff.
No, it's not true.
Not true? Would you
No.
reckon that some people do not want
Some women are
weak men or weak
naturally
woman
men
next
and
to them,
women
for
are
example?
submissive.
Submissive.
Submissive meaning they don't want a career, they don't want to make money, and I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with that. But some women want to create a family, and this is their goal, which is beautiful. But my goal is very different. If I have kids, it will be only in a full family, meaning my husband is a full representation of my view, meaning he is kind, generous with feelings. He's understanding that sometimes women have PMS. Sometimes we're absolutely nuts, not sometimes half of the month. We're crazy. He needs to know that. He needs to know that we're raising the kids by example, not by saying, by example, how you're treating your wife. This is the most important thing. So for me, if it never happens, it never happens. You see, I don't see the future as I need to make kids to be the most eligible woman. No, I don't think so. Even, trust me, it's going to be really crazy what I'm going to say, but who cares? Even if I never find a husband, well, probably I will be with the young guys enjoying my time. And it's okay as long as I have money to support my lifestyle.
Okay, I have a few questions now that arose from listening to that. First of all, the biggest one I want to ask is
Alim, I think we're going to need you.
Amazing guy. I love
Alim
him.
is also 20, right?
Yes.
20. You can put more, honey. You can put more. And I will tell you a little story about Alim. And by the way, you need to understand how actually Alim became part of the...
I think people would love to hear this.
Absolutely, because a lot of people think, oh, look at her, what she thinks she is. But every single person who is actually working with me, not for me, with me, they have an incredible story. So, for example, Alim, I call him a porn star because a lot of women like him. It's not because he is a porn star, it is because a lot of women like him. And also, we did a photo shoot together. Maybe you saw it, maybe not. Anyway, maybe you should check our pages and you will see it. So Alim's story was actually, he was working in the hotel that I was staying in. And he was bringing my luggage to the room, and we started talking because I'm always nice to people, and he was very nice. So I was always very interested in kind of backstory, why you here and whatever. Well, obviously, it didn't happen on the first meeting. And somehow, every time something I needed in the room, Alim was there. I was like, Alim, are you the only one working the 5-star hotel, honey? He's like, no, I was actually asking to be actually sent to your room. And I was like, okay, fair enough. So I made a joke. I was like, I'm doing a tour. I'm doing a tour in Georgia. Who knows? You're good looking. Maybe they will steal you. And he's like, why not you? Well, like, excuse me, where are you going with that? Anyway, so then after a while, I actually was asking him about more personal stuff. And I'm like, why are you actually working here? Because it's a tough job. And then we're talking. He's like, oh, it's actually not my only job. I'm actually also working over there in gas station. I'm like, wait, you are 20 working 24/7? And then he says to me, well, yeah, my dad passed away 6 months ago. And he's like, I need to support my family. I'm like, honey, do we need a job? Because this job going to be very different. You will earn probably more than what you are earning now without these crazy working hours. And you will have a lot of fun. So now Alim is a porn star / model. I'm not joking. No, he's also a great assistant, and he's doing an
Amazing
incredible job.
Amazing.
And he's a very good friend of Alex, and we're enjoying our time. And every single person who works for me, which are 10 of them, 5 are Georgians, and I absolutely love it. We are having the best time of my life. Sometimes I'm doing babysitting. I'm not joking. Babysitting, all of them.
Sometimes.
Sometimes people oversleep when we need to go to the podcast or photo shoot. Here you go. Alex was the one. But the other part is I love people who have a difficult path because I know they will be with me. No matter what happens, they will appreciate the moment that we're sharing right now. And I'm sure they will spread their wings, if not now, in 1-2 years, and they will go much further. And it's okay. I'm just the first step.
Big up Alim. He's actually amazing person. One of the most amazing people I ever met. You know, I can tell that this guy has a kind heart and can listen to you and be there with you whenever you need him. You know, so
a bit naughty, but it's okay.
Yeah, but everyone has. No one is perfect. No one is perfect.
A bit naughty, very naughty. Do not text Alim. No.
Leave him alone.
Нет.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
That Marina, for everyone that does not know, I mean, obviously she puts out, and I'm saying this as an assistant that I see all of these things firsthand. You know, her personality might seem very.
How do you call me? Just say how you call me.
Etna.
Do you know what Etna is?
Yeah, it's
explain, please, why you call me Etna, honey.
It's one of the most angriest volcanoes in the world that erupts. So, thing is that I gave her this nickname because she has this kind of personality. She is first. Don't get me wrong. She is first, and she's
a Leo. I'm a fire.
Obviously, you know, she brings the fire. She's authoritative, but on the other hand, she is the boss. You know, so she has to be like this. But people,
but I'm kind of cool.
Yeah,
cool boss.
Something that also many people might not see behind the scenes is that she's genuinely one of the most sweetest person I ever met, and she understands us whenever we have some problems. She understands that. She knows that personal life can come first before the work as well at some points, but the work also needs to be taken seriously, you know, and I cannot personally argue with that at all, you know, because work is work. You have to do the work, you have to do the job, but also she understands the humanity side of it, the aspect, and she's super cool about it, you know, and I'm saying this here for everyone to see that.
By the way, guys, I'm paying him, so don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm paying
I'm
him
not
for
saying
that.
this because she's paying me though. I'm saying this because she's actually
I'm
like this.
always joking, by the way. I'm always joking. So no matter what kind of Etna I am, I always bring it into the perspective, and I'm always funny. I am the funniest ever.
I think I'm more funny though sometimes.
Where is the jokes? Where are the jokes? I'm sorry.
Not here for the people because this is a serious matter.
How is that serious? We're just having fun. We're smoking. I'm smoking at least. I'm smoking.
You can smoke. It's all good.
Oh, thank you so much, Alex, for your permission on my podcast.
I'm a part of it as well.
No. So, you know, I actually wanted to say, it's not kind of this podcast where people sit and like, what do you think? No. It's not this kind of podcast. This is where actually two people meet from different generations, different backgrounds, because obviously my Belgian personality comes back in a lot of things. A lot of things. Even them, sometimes they're like, oh, she's too like precise about things. Very precise. I don't know if this is in Georgia or anything. I don't think it's in Slavic. I'm very precise about stuff and I'm checking everything. It's very Belgian of me because obviously I lived 18 years there. I can be very cool with things like what I learned in UAE, very easygoing. I love my UAE people. They're incredible. It's been my country for 15 years. I love this country with the bottom of my heart. But somehow I couldn't find my husband there. So my biggest relationship were always coming from outside. And I think it has to do with just the background. It's just you have to be Slavic enough for me to actually keep up with the craziness. Because obviously I'm from Kazakhstan, born in Kazakhstan, but there is a but. It's a Muslim country. I'm not Muslim, I'm Orthodox, but still the values, the way Georgians are valuing the family, it's like Kazakhs are valuing the family. So I have like the best of the worlds, if you know what I mean. And how much I appreciate the safety and security of UAE and how the works are done and how easy life is. I don't even know how to put the gas in the car. So you see, and people were telling me here, I can show you. You don't need to show me. I will find a Georgian man who will put that in the car.
Shout out to my Georgians out there.
Shout out to Georgian man.
And everyone who loves our country is very welcome.
Absolutely.
For us,
I love the
'cause
country.
We have this
Absolutely.
saying in Georgia that we believe every person, every guest is sent to us by God, and every guest is God himself, basically. So we decide to treat our guests with the utmost hospitality. And this is the traditions that make us, this past. So,
But there is another thing. So you have actually the statue where she's standing with a sword,
yes,
and the
Yes.
thing where you're actually feeding people.
that's also one of the most.
This is the
sword
most
is-
important thing.
yeah.
What you need to understand about Georgia: if you come with a kindness, you will be
Exactly.
treated with a kindness. If you come with the sword, honey, you
will
will
be
get
treated
the
with the sword.
sword, cut out the head.
That is the meaning of the statue for everyone who was wondering.
If you didn't know, honey.
Yeah, which I think is, first of all, a beautiful message, and also a beautiful statue. It shows authority and what we represent, basically.
Exactly.
We
It's welcoming.
exactly welcome. We welcome the kindness.
But
we
don't
give
push
kindness
it.
back, but we don't take no bullshit.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. This is me. And when I saw the statue and they actually explained me the whole thing, I was like, listen, I think this is my country. I was just born in a different country.
Yeah. Controversial things, though, in this country, some people might not fully understand and grasp the concept that you hear. What is the purpose of you being here, for example, right? They are always asking questions. I've seen some TikToks made about you from people talking.
Who, the
First of all,
propaganda guys?
Yeah.
Lovely.
And they just
Yeah.
assume automatically. Personally, that's what I think, right? First of all,
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. The propaganda thing, because I look Russian, obviously I look Russian.
Yeah,
I have
you do.
Russian-Ukrainian
which
roots.
is understandable why Georgian people think like this, but we don't want to go
No,
there because it's different story,
I don't think this way. You see, because you can hear about opinions about Georgian men from expats, and you can take this as an opinion. Or, I mean, let's not involve politics into the
Never.
people.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I fully agree.
This is what people are getting wrong. They're involving politics into people. Why are you doing that? Because I look Russian, because I have Russian roots? Well, I'm sure there's a lot of mixes in all the countries, 15 of them, which are post-Soviet, and no one knows who is who. But not even that. So imagine, I'm Russian-Ukrainian from Kazakhstan. I call myself Kazakh Belgian because I have Belgian passport. I'm coming from Kazakhstan, and I cannot fully connect myself to Russia or Ukraine because I've never lived in these countries. I connect myself to Kazakhstan because I know what's Kazakhstan, I know what's Belgium, I know what's UAE. I can only talk about this perspective. I know a lot of people are small-minded. So when they put propaganda videos of me saying, connecting me eating ice cream, then connecting me to when a policeman, which was very nice of him, when I was standing in Old Town and I couldn't get a taxi and I was really obviously looking beautiful, men were approaching me and he's like, your taxi is not coming. Should I bring you to a hotel? Where are you staying? And it was just that. And someone connects this to me eating ice cream during PMS that, I'm sorry, looks like whatever, phallos or whatever they call it. It was just an Eskimo. They connect this. Then they put me stepping in the police car of Georgia. And then beating up people. I'm like, how the hell did you connect all these things in one video?
Well,
this is propaganda,
yes.
obviously. And I'm not even connected by anything, by any means to that. And it's okay. Because these people obviously don't have any followers. They need to buy bots to have haters. And people will hate me. People hated me because I lived in UAE and I was always an escort. Always. even if I was cosmetologist, one of the most successful one in Dubai, I'm always an escort. It's okay. People can think what they want, but I always say, are you paying my bills, honey? If not, your opinion doesn't matter. Opinion of the sheep doesn't matter. Only people who adore me, who love me, this is the people I want to be surrounded with. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point?
Personally, I think that criticism and some propaganda happening, it's also a way of strengthening yourself in your mind, you know, getting used to this kind of stuff. Because a person of your stature and 150 followers almost now in the span of 1 month, I repeat, is insane, Paul, right? So there might be some people who can be also jealous about that
Yeah,
fact.
you're the one blocking them, so that's okay.
Everyone who I blocked, I don't regret anything. They
Exactly. They know
stuff.
exactly what to do.
Never. Anyways, in Georgia, in terms of Georgia, though, I understand their frustrations, but planting propaganda without even knowing the full story and sowing this hate between people and
No,
like,
it's just,
I think it's wrong to do personally.
listen,
you know what I mean?
if I would be unknown, no followers, ugly, no one would talk about me. It's always like that. They choose people with who they can actually make this propaganda. Did you see the guy?
Yeah.
The agrizak, whatever, of a human. Agrizak of a human is like a leftover of a person. This is exactly how he looks like. And it's okay, honey. It's okay.
Personally, I have no hard feelings against him or anyone.
You don't have a hard feelings against him?
I don't have
Maybe
hard-
we should reconsider your salary.
No.
Did
I'm
you
not
see? Did
saying-
you hear this, Alim?
I'm
Maybe
not
we
saying-
should.
listen, let me
Really? You don't have?
No hard feelings personally.
Alex,
because
no, you should have
this
hard
is-
feelings because if you are in my team, you know what's gonna happen to you, right?
I didn't say that I agree
Because
with him.
I don't
though.
want to be blocked on YouTube, but I'm
one
sure
will block
you
you.
understand what I want to say without cursing.
Yes, yes. But what I was trying to say is that I don't have hard feelings for anyone in general. You know, as
You
long as
should
they
have
not
hard
wrong me.
feelings because if you don't have hard feelings, if someone is upsetting
I know. Let me say this. I don't agree with what he said because I think it was pure nonsense, like just nonsense. But does not mean that I hate him, you know, or something. No, I just don't
no,
like him.
hate is a
Yeah,
big word.
I don't have hard
Hate-
feelings. You know what I
hate
mean?
is a big word.
Yeah, everyone can
You know, you can hate someone.
f up in life, make some
You know
mistakes.
who you can hate? Someone who does something to you that actually you cannot fix your life and they did it to you. This is hate. This is not mediocre. Low life people who have nothing else to do in their life and they think they can earn money with that. That's it. Sheeps.
Leave the propaganda to the propagandists. Let them
Exactly.
do what they want to do.
Exactly.
You know, I personally believe that Georgia has showed a lot of hospitality.
No. Georgia is Georgia.
Yeah,
Hello.
I love
Why
my
do you
country.
think I'm here?
I love my country. I love my people. I think this side of us that we show hospitality to people and
Why
like,
do you think
love
so
and
many
care.
Georgians are working with me?
Because we are good people. Personally,
But
that's what I
I'm
believe.
choosing good people, I think.
You are choosing good people. Obviously, you have really keen eye for certain stuff
I
when it
have a
comes to
feeling.
qualities. Yeah, you have the feeling, like the nudge that something is telling you. In the back of your
Exactly, I
mind.
have a feeling.
Yeah.
Because some people were fired, obviously. Because they are not a match. Because
It's not an easy
whoever-
job. It might seem easy, but it's not an easy job because
Because
there's
a
a lot
lot
of stuff
people
that goes
no,
into this.
you know what I thought about blogging before? Because I don't call myself blogger, influencer. I'm not that. I think I am the, how do I call myself? A woman who is being unapologetically herself, trying to give a little bit of wisdom of herself. That's it. This is how I would call myself. When people call me, oh, she's a blogger. I'm not a blogger. I don't want to be put in a blogger condition. Anyway.
So you would say that you are trying to give women out there who might be seeking for these kind of
not trying, honey.
advices.
I'm doing it.
You are
I'm
doing
it
Yes,
every day.
exactly. You are
Every
doing
day.
It. But
There
that's
are
the point,
thousands
though,
of messages
for you.
every day, and I'm sure you are seeing it, but you are just not allowed to go into them.
Yeah, we're not
Because
allowed everyone.
they are not allowed to go in DMs. So I'm the one who's always answering DMs and the stories that women are sharing.
It's a lot. She's answering DMs. She's answering comments. So everyone
And imagine,
who's
I'm actually a successful cosmetologist in Dubai. So now, in 2 days, I'm actually going back to work. to support this party, the 10 people. Because
lot.
when people are like, oh my God, Marina, you're making money. Not yet, honey. Not yet. In the future, yes. Not yet.
Hopefully in the future.
Hopefully, I hope you're going to make a lot of money for you. Alim also. Stop filming. I'm joking. Alim was like, oh my God, what did I do?
I wonder how does Alim like his job? You think he's happy with it?
With what?
The job?
I think Alim is having the best time
Look at
of
him
his
smiling.
life.
You know, he's really
Look at
happy with it. Yeah.
no, not only this time, but he's having the best
Yeah.
time of his life. Girlies? Girlies?
Marina.
Did you see Alim? Maybe we should put a picture of Alim in without the shirt.
No, I don't think we should do that. For
I think it's a very good idea. You have no idea. Six pack,
it's
girlies?
Marina and me, we already have this.
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, we agree with each other, but sometimes we always have the different opinions so that we both keep
We
each other.
should.
Yeah,
We
obviously,
should.
obviously.
We should.
No, we should
No,
not.
no, no. By the
Alim,
way,
I'm here for you, brother.
you know, Alex, by the way, Alim was like, yeah, put my picture on.
You said that?
Yeah, I'm sure he's like, yes, maybe. Go
Maybe.
ahead, honey. No, but you know, sometimes even with Alex, when I'm saying certain things, I'm like, yeah, do that. And I'm being a volcano myself,
Etna.
And then the funniest part is he's like, Marina, should we do it this way, maybe? And it's been like 5 minutes later. I'm like, yeah, maybe we should. Because, you know, when volcano erupts, it just goes down and that's it. This is me.
Someone has to be your calm side, you know.
Yeah.
In this
I have
things.
like two calm
I have the
people,
privilege.
Alex and...
We all have the privilege, actually.
Yeah.
We all be like that. But
yeah.
personally, I think that volcanic part is a necessity in a job like this, Marina.
Alim, I think we need more...
Come here, brother. She needs, I don't need.
Undress yourself. Show your arms.
Show the biceps.
Show your biceps. Yeah. Take the glove. I think he did it on purpose. So
He's trying
we
to
can
impress.
actually see. So yeah, it's funny.
Cheers to us and to Alim.
And to Alim flexing his body on the video. Thank you very much. We will put the picture behind the scenes, naked.
I want to ask you something.
Tell me, love.
Because obviously...
Because always, I think it's a time.
Yeah, it's time we get to
Yeah,
some questions.
and I think
got a little carried
guys,
away.
I think we're gonna do the second part.
Yeah.
Because it keeps on going
Needs to
and it's a
come.
really
Needs to come.
interesting conversation, obviously. But I'm sure we need to do the part 2. And by the way, we have an incredible producer. Should I call producer, David?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really
producer.
helpful.
He's really good. Anyway, so yeah, it's very cool. And he's like, can we drink? Can we smoke? He's like, of course.
Yeah.
I love this kind of vibe. And it's very cute. I love this studio. I love it. Anyway, come back.
I mean to ask you that obviously when I'm working for you, right? For those who don't know.
With me, yeah.
Yeah. We also see some comments, obviously, as assistants, what's going on, to give the feedback to Marina, basically, what people are talking about, what they want to see, for example, so on, etc. I saw a lot of comments on a specific reel, right, that said that older men dating younger women is weird. They
Acceptable.
called it pedophile, basically.
No.
I personally think if a older woman dating younger men is
Is it
acceptable.
pedophile?
Yeah, is that also a pedophile then?
What
Or
are you talking about?
what's
Nothing is
the-
pedophile. It's always been a socially
What's your
accepted.
opinion on this? That's what I'm curious
It's a
about.
bullshit. Listen, women who comment on this and they saying this, it's because it's always been a thing. We always know. Politicians. No, politics gonna come after me. No, politicians.
We cut out this part.
No, fuck no. We're not cutting anything. No, politicians, wealthy men, we know that it's much easier to control younger women, not younger men though. Depends from which country they're coming from. So if I'm trying to control people from Rustavi, yeah, good luck with that. And good luck with that. Rustavi is actually an area. So if people don't know, if that you are not coming from Georgia, so Rustavi is a very, let's say, aggressive vibe. We call it aggressive vibe. Oh, come on. In 90s, are you kidding me?
90s,
Okay,
90s, whole country
okay.
was aggressive.
Where is these kids are coming from? 90s, 2000s, or 2005 sometimes?
They know their stuff and they can be sweet. But
Anyway, but
authoritative.
the fathers, where are they coming from? Exactly. So you cannot erase this. So, for example, for me, when I'm trying to control Georgian men will pull back and push back as much as they can, even with my strongest personality. Man, Belgium, Italy, man, I'm just doing this.
And it just works.
It always works, kind of. With me, yes.
But would you not say that this pushing back, right, is also can be a good thing? Because
It's an incredible thing.
incredible
What I'm
thing.
saying, because I'm a strong woman.
And personally, I don't think any
But
woman out there
I understand
or
expats
men,
who are living here,
yeah, but I don't like.
Australians, Americans. They're not ready. They're not ready for
Not
this shit
many
at
people
all.
are ready for anything.
No, they're not ready because obviously you have to be very strong for Georgian men because you need to push back no matter what. Because they will push you in the corner and you will sit there.
But it's pushing needs to come from the heart, personally, I believe, for the side of it that shows the other person, and I'm not pushing
You
it
will not
because
be interested. You will not be interested, first of all.
Why
As a
not?
Georgian man, you will not be interested. Because there is no thing to hunt. Because Georgians, they want to hunt.
Yeah.
They're hunters. Obviously. They
But I
want
think
to
it's
hunt.
key part to make
Well,
sure that your
key
partner
part.
knows that you're pushing because you want to better your partner
Absolutely.
up,
And
make sure
whoever
she
the-
or he learns from this and becomes better version of herself. for
No,
example.
absolutely. Whoever I dated in my life, all the men who I ever dated in my life, they became the best version of themselves. Always. There's not even a question. And it's not even because of pushing, it's who I am as a personality. So I was friends with every single one of them. Every single one of them. All of them, they love me. They love me because I'm this kind of persona because I understand everything. I'm like, oh, it's okay. I understand everything. Even with you, I understand everything. Even if
I'm
you
not
do
hard to
mistakes,
understand people.
even if you don't do mistakes, I'm like, I understand because I've been through this. So I'm kind of personality where like, okay, I give a benefit of doubt always. But you
That's
push
good
me a
thing.
couple of times more,
So
block, delete.
to easily put this in an oversimplified matter is that she gives out yellow cards, and the red card is when you're done. Yopti.
Yeah, but you know,
You're
there
done.
is 2 yellow cards normally
Yeah.
in football. I give to my assistants like 15. 15 at least. What kind of yellow card is that? Is it like a yellow, green, yellow,
10
green,
of them
yellow?
were like verbal warnings, and the actual
No,
yellows.
there is no warnings. I'm trying to understand because they're younger.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, I get it. We make mistakes, obviously.
But we learn from them. We learn from them.
But they're cool people. All cool people, good heart. And they actually want to do the best that they can.
I think that's what matters in the end, that we actually want
Absolutely.
to do and to succeed and also, etc., do this kind of stuff. Marina, what is, personally, we talked a lot about relationships recently, this few minutes ago. I'm wondering, like, what do you think is the biggest mistake a man, and I want to say both, right? A woman can make in a relationship and a man can make in a relationship, in your opinion? What do you think, something that maybe it's an action that they do or something they say, any kind of mistake that might
You're talking
inflict
red flags or you're talking about...
red flags? No, not really red flags. Red flags can be something else, like a mistake, more like, oh, they really messed up with this one, like they did this and it's not acceptable. From both women and men's side, I'm curious. What do you think?
Listen, I think the most important when you are handling any kind of relationship, men and women, when you are coming not out of the kindness, but you want to win the fight. This is the most important thing. Whenever you are in relationship, you need to understand you are not against each other. You are against the problem. So you want to solve the problem. And I think when you are not understanding that it's not you against each other, but it's actually a different type of you that you are having in life. I think this is the biggest red flag, because why would you fight? Because my fights lately, I'm talking about 40, right? 40, not 20. My latest fights would be like, oh, I don't like that. And he's like, okay, how do you want me to fix it? And it's a 20-year-old. I'm like, okay then. That's
What
it.
would you
That's my
say?
fight.
Like, have you ever ignored? First of all, what would you say is the biggest red flag, briefly, in a man?
Well, I actually experienced it not by me. I never experienced this shit by me, but I experienced it very recently, and you were there. When someone was sitting on our terrace and they were saying to them, maybe you should change that to be better. And you just met the guy. Maybe you should go very far. I'm trying not to be blocked on YouTube, but I'm trying not to curse. So when someone is trying to change you, and I'm not talking about, you are talking about personality, you are talking about appearance, and like, if you do that, you will be better. This is probably the biggest red flag, because this is narcissists who are very insecure of themselves and they're trying to change you because they're so empty inside of themselves.
Would you say there is a fine line between someone
There is no
actually
fucking fine
trying
line.
changing
You see it, you kill it.
What if he's genuinely trying? For example, let's say a person is actually messing up in some sense, and he's trying
You
to
will
warn you
say it
if
on
you
the
do
first
it like
date?
this. First date is a different story.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because you need to count the first dates. Because after you can work on absolutely everything if the communication is right and the way you bring your perspective to someone. So, for example, if you say to me, you know what, Marina, you smoke too much. Man, I love you with all my life. But man, the way you smoke, I was like, okay, baby, I understand. I get it.
You would understand it, obviously.
I
you
would
know, 'cause
understand.
it's
But
coming
if
from the
someone
heart.
says to me, your lips are overfilled, maybe we should dissolve them and do it differently on the first date. Yeah, what the fuck are you thinking?
I agree with you on that sense. I believe first date is more about getting to know a person, right?
No, the
Talking
first
with her.
date is actually, do you vibe? You don't need to ask what he's doing.
That's what
you
I
don't
meant.
need to ask anything. You need to understand, do I feel okay next to this person? On the second date, you ask him more, and you ask him, actually, are we aligned if you are planning to have a family? If you are planning to have fun, who gives a shit what he's doing? Who cares?
Dating in general these days has become very, very difficult.
Not these days. It's always been, but like
It's
before
always
we
been
were no,
difficult,
it's
but-
always been difficult. Before we're connected, we were settling for less. Social media was not involved. There are so many things that we're actually didn't know about. We were not as much with therapy. We were not healed. A lot of people came with their traumas. A lot of people came, and if we are talking about our countries, the 15 of them that your parents, grandparents lived in, the communism, all this crap, everything inside, you got it also with your blood. So no matter what, we are all connected, all 15 of them. Even if you don't want to speak the language, trust me, even if you don't want to speak the language, trust me, still there are certain things inside of us that even if we look at each other, we understand what we're talking about.
That part, yes.
Exactly. So how can you have this connection with, for example, Europeans? You look at them like, what are you looking at? If here, for example, if you are looking at the Dagestani guy, Chechen guy, whatever, you look at them, you look at each other.
We can
You know,
understand each
you
other.
understand.
We just look, yes.
Yeah, you understand. Like, listen, this is my woman, you don't look at my woman.
That part we're talking about, or in general, you can understand something.
No,
by
you
looking at
understand
someone?
all kind of things. But even in relationships, like even if you're with a woman, he looks at you and imagine you are doing that in Europe. He'll be like,
Well,
I'm just looking.
personally,
I'm just looking.
I
Why are
s-
you fighting? I'm just looking.
to be honest, I don't like when people look at me. I know a lot of people around me who don't like the same as well. When people just
Well, you
stare at
shouldn't go to a lot of countries then because people look.
People love to look. People
Me,
love
I
to
don't look at people
put
when
their
I'm
nose in a lot
here.
of stuff that they don't need to be concerned about, for example.
I'm not
Like,
joking. I'm passing in the street. I don't know. If someone is not with me, I have no idea who's looking. I have no idea.
that's because I think you're famous somewhat most of the times now.
Instagram famous, yeah.
Instagram
But you know
famous,
what?
yeah.
When Sofia Vergara subscribed to me,
Amazing moment.
I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm doing something right because I think she's one of the strongest women. I'm like, let's go, baby.
How was that when you saw that Sofia Vergara followed you? By the way, how
But it's
did
not
you
only
feel?
Sofia Vergara, it's actually all the other like girl from France and everything. And there are so many people who followed me. And to be honest, for me, it was impressive because I consider these women as very strong, very opinionated, and very fun. Because I only highlight people I actually really adore. So,
So
for me,
you
it
adore
was
Sofia.
you see, and it was funny. I was not even following her because I was like, I don't have kind of thing where I'm obsessed with someone. But for Sophia, I watch her movies. I love her. I
She's
love
amazing.
her. I love her
amazing,
YouTubes. I love the way she speaks. I love how fun she is. But after, obviously, she followed me. I'm like, oh my God, I should follow her back, of course, because who I am. Because for me, I'm just a normal person with a lot of opinions. That this is who I am. Unapologetically being myself. I'm not bigger than someone. Absolutely not. I'm
We
just
are all
being me.
human in the end. By the end.
I am just a human, but a very cute one. Maybe we
I
should
don't
finish
disagree.
it with that, honey. But then I think the part 2 is coming
Part 2 is gonna be amazing.
because I don't think
Personally, I
we even
believe.
covered with
We most of this was, for in my opinion, like
just get connected and have fun.
yeah, like
Absolutely.
discussing the most
Because a lot of
stuff,
people are
just
asking,
talking.
like, oh, can we actually have Marina on podcast where she's actually being herself? And I love that.
This was for people wondering, might be wondering, like this was not about.
And I
like,
love how
some.
you relaxed after
Yeah.
a while and everything is cool.
By the way, guys, this was my first ever.
It was his
being
first
on camera.
podcast,
Yeah,
by the
podcast.
way.
I
Imagine.
hope I hid
By the way,
my
he wants to
nervousness.
be a superstar.
Yeah, for now, I'm working
I
with
think
Marina.
we just need to cheers to that. And it was an incredible thing, honey. Woo! Love it.